Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, October 15th. And today we're going to talk to you all about what is happening in Edmonton's real estate market. And let's start off with how many listings we currently have. Now, these are single family home listings. I'm not talking about all of the Edmonton properties. We just filmed a video that's going to come live here, and you'll be able to see what's happening for all of Edmonton for the whole entire month of September. But this week, like every single week, we look at what's happening week over week with single family homes in the Edmonton area. And then we focus in and jump into some neighborhoods that are in Edmonton, which is focused in West and Southwest. I have some requests from you guys who watched it a few days ago, and I will be talking about those neighborhoods. And if you are watching live, you are more than welcome to put in a neighborhood that you want to look at in the West Southwest. So currently, if you take a look at the listings, we continue to rise each week. Nothing too crazy, but this is quite normal. And honestly, if we can get up into the 3,000 active single family home listings with the same amount of demand in terms of sales, we will start to balance ourselves out. And we still aren't seeing that. However, that doesn't mean that you're going to sell your house in 2 seconds flat anymore, because people are still being picky and your house does need to be priced where it needs to be. If you try to overprice it, the market's not going to be. Now, market's never been about that anyways in the last couple of years, but definitely things are slowing down, and we'll see that when we take a look at the pending sales in both St. Albert, Sherwood Park, Spruce Grove. You can see the numbers are very similar, but they're all starting to rise. The amount of listings, amount of options continue to rise. Now, that means a combination of rising in terms of new listings, but also rising because the listings that got listed didn't get sold. And so that's helping build up that inventory. Now, if we take a look at the pending sales in terms of how many deals went pending, how many deals went into contract, so people writing offers, buyers writing offers. You can see week over week in Edmonton, 200 from 198. St. Albert had a little less, Sherwood Park had a little less, and Spruce had a little less. So the trend is starting to see that it's starting to decline in terms of sales. Now, nothing alarming, but the number of sales to the number of active listings, they're kind of keeping its pace. There isn't this change and shift in market yet. If that happens, I definitely will be talking about that and mentioning it. Now, if you take a look at sales, those are sold in the last 7 days. 147 properties sold in the last 7 days, compared to the week before at 201. So it is dropping. St. Albert, Sherwood Park, Spruce Grove, they're all dropping as well. And this is very normal. This actually normally happens. I see it the end of September. So we're a couple weeks delayed on that. Now, interestingly enough, let's take a look at last year at this time compared to this year. We can take a look at this year. We had less sales than last year at 147. Let me just double check again. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So in the last 7 days, we sold 147 properties. And last year at this time, we had actually more sales. Now, a lot of people are wondering about interest rates. And I don't know if you remember, last year at this time, our interest rates were higher and we had more sales. So that's why you should never have interest rates be the deciding factor of if you should be moving or selling your house or not. There's a lot of different factors involved when you're looking at selling and buying, and when and what is happening. You got to look at the entire economy as well. We were talking about this with the client earlier, that when you are looking at the sales, you're looking at the fact that people are having basically more sales because of different circumstances, and there could be economy things. So the interest rates are based on bond rates and bond rates are for fixed rates. The rates that you hear about on the news is variable rates. So those two definitely have something to play with. And what we hear about all the time is the ones that affect variable, not the ones that affect fixed. So if you're looking at getting a fixed mortgage, that's not necessarily the right source of information. Yes, they're all tied and affiliated together, but it's something you have to be aware of. And that's why you also want to make sure you're talking to a mortgage broker. Now, I'm going to bring up a screen so that we can take a look at the map and take a look into Edmonton to kind of see what it is that you guys want to look at. I had a request for McGrath and Edgmont. Now, someone asked for Edgmont and Woodhaven. Just to clarify, Edgmont and Woodhaven are actually considered Edgmont on MLS, so they're all the same. It's not separated. The only way you're going to see separation is if you are like literally looking at the map and I'm mapping it out for you. So let me just pull up the comments so I can see if you guys have any questions. So let me just pull it up here. And if you have any questions and you're watching, please put it up. So I'm doing McGrath and Edgmont first. And I'm just trying to see where all of my comments are. You guys are like missing. So let's see. Last comment. There's no comments. Okay. So let's dive into the Edmonton map. And okay, so you can see here we are in Edmonton, and the McGrath area is in the southwest. So that's right here, and it's kind of on this side, closer to with the Windermere area. So McGrath is just right above here. McGrath Heights here. So close to 23rd Ave. Oh, there's a really good sushi place here. And then there's the McTaggart area, and you're backing on to White Mud Creek, and there's the Henday, and also the White Mud is not too far, because if you just hop on 23rd to go on to Terwillegar, White Mud is right here. So let's take a look at the market in McGrath. McGrath area is a little bit older. It is not old like the 50s, but it's probably like 2000. It's at least 20, maybe 30 years old. Oops, we do not want to look at rural. Let's take a look at what's sold in McGrath in the last 60 days. Oops, I did 90. That's even less. Okay, so 60 days, 6 properties were sold. And you can see the low sold at $599.9 to $883.998. Now, doesn't mean that things don't sell for more or less, but that's what the picture looks like in the last 60 days. Oh, I'm going to remove that comment. So this is what you can get. This is what's sold now. It sold in 56 days. It took a while to sell. List price and sold for list price. So it probably reduced in price and then finally sold. This looks like a new build. Oh yeah. New build. That's on May Crescent. And then this one was 6 days on market. So it was pretty much listed and then sold right away. This one sold a little bit under list. Well, not a little, but 20 grand almost. So you can see what it's backing. It's older with the, so this looks like, I want to guess 2000s with the maple hardwood. This would look amazing if someone did a massive renovation in it. Even if you didn't do a massive renovation, still really good. You could change the look of this easily by putting in new countertops and backsplash, and you could get professionally painted cabinets done, and you can make a big change. Even if you change the countertops, you can get rid of this, cut this off, and make like a square or rectangle, because there's usually the space for it. So that's in the 600s. See the floors? When you do the floor, this kind of carpet always keeps these things. When you change out flooring, you get massive return back. If you're changing floors and do the paint, this is going to completely transform this house to feel like a most brand new house. And yes, the tile would be a big job, but it would make a big difference if you did those rectangular tiles versus the square tiles, which is more dated. And I believe there's enough room even for you to put 2 sinks. So there's this like makeup area, but realistically you could put 2 sinks and still have an area to get ready. So that's what you get. That's what was sold just in August at 600. Then we jump up to the 750s. This is these two were both bungalows, so they're not the same type. Those other ones are 2 stories. And these bungalows are common in McGrath also. This looks a lot like my sister's old place. So you got the bungalow that was the office in the front, and then you've got the maple hardwood again. These look like they've been redone, the faces of these cabinets with that antique look. And then you've got some major trees in the back. So nice format. Again, maybe not for a family, maybe more so for mom and dad. I mean, we live in a bungalow because we wanted to quote unquote age in place. But this is not for young families because the bedrooms are not upstairs for the kids. Now downstairs, you've got a nice rec area, and you can see there's bedrooms in here. So maybe for older kids, like our kids are older, it's easier when the kids are downstairs. Everyone has their own space. So this is what was 750, and then in 760, really similar square footage as well. And then you've got a two-story that was bigger at 830 square feet. Let's take a look at that one. So you get the open to above. It's a wider lot. So if you didn't notice, like we don't have those wide lots in the new neighborhoods anymore. And these floors have been redone. These are beautiful. New floors, more modern look. So it changes the look of the house. Remember I was saying if you change the floors out, it'll change the look. And see, back in the day, dining rooms were a thing. And now we don't need two dining room spaces. So that's been redone for a kids area. Probably could be used as an office or even an extended living room. And then you've got the kitchen. That kitchen's definitely been redone. This neighborhood's not new enough to have that as the original. So this has been really nicely redone. And you can see the price tag here is $830,000 to get a house that's been redone. So see, this would have been the original kitchen cabinets, and they still have that in the laundry room. And then you've got the upstairs with the bonus room. Those look like IKEA entertainment set area. So that is McGrath. Let's dive in and see what Edgmont is. So Edgmont is one of the newer areas in Edmonton. If you take a look on the Henday, if we jump on the Henday and get off here, you on one side have Cameron Heights, the other side you've got the Uplands and the Edgmont area. So Edgmont is closer to the Hamptons, and it's right off of Lessard Drive. There's a new cool coffee shop that I'm going to go check on Wednesday. Looking forward to checking that out. It's called Cafe Aria. We tend to not get the cool coffee shops over on this side of town. They're usually always inside of the city. So I'm really looking forward to checking that place out. But it is located pretty much in Edgmont. Now, Edgmont is close to the Windermere area, so you can go there for groceries, or you could just jump over as well. So you could jump on the Henday or Winterburn. It'll take you to the Costco, which is right here. So that's going to be super close. And for context, for anybody you guys watching who've been in Edmonton for a long time, this is really close to the corn maze. So if we're in Edgmont and Uplands, the corn maze is just over in this area. It's just over here. So you see how close that is? It used to be so far away, but now it is not. So let's dive into Edgmont. Edgmont still has a lot of new builds. And so the new build prices won't be on here unless they've listed the house in on MLS. So we have had 21 sales in the last 60 days. So you can see the difference between McGrath and Edgmont. They're obviously different locations, but also different age. They're older. So if you take a look at this, you can see that the average price was $568 in the last 60 days, from $409 all the way to $774. And you can see they've got the laned houses, the garages in the back, and then you've got the front attached garage homes. And then do we have triple? No, we don't even have a triple yet. So this one here I know faces the pond, and that one sold for $774. Two-story, 12 days, pretty quick on market. A 5-level split is an interesting layout. Those ones I've seen, and they're not common, but they have a very unique feel to them for sure. And then you can see that these are mostly 2 stories is what you're going to find in this area. Not a whole lot of bungalows I've seen in Edgmont. And you can see that of the 21 houses sold, 1, 2, 3, 4 were over 700, 3 were over 6, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the 5s, and then a lot under 5. So it is possible to buy a house under 500, but you are going to be looking at homes that are with garages in the back. And so what do they look like in the front? Let me just take a look. So you can see how close they are. That's normal. And then if you take a look at the back of the house, if they show that, they got the little front porch. So inside, because you don't have the garage, the whole house is the whole house. You're not going to have a bonus room over top of the garage because there is no garage. The garage is in the back. And depending on the size of the lot, the garage sometimes is right smack in this view of this window here that you see. But sometimes there's a little bit of space. So it all depends on the lot size. So let's just kind of quickly go over there. You can see you can still fit a pretty decent size furniture, but the layouts of these homes are always quite similar. There's only so much you can do with that floor plan. Sometimes you see the dining room in the middle and the kitchen in the back. So that's the variation you'll see there. And then the bathroom in the back when you're coming in from the back entrance. This is the upstairs. I want to show you guys the backyard here. The upstairs are always very similar too, in terms of the 3 bedrooms. There's only so much space. So what they've done is a really great job in not putting a deck, because the deck sometimes cuts off the yard and makes it smaller. You have this inlaid in the ground, so then it makes the yard feel bigger and it is more spacious. And this is very nice low maintenance yard. And then you can see there's actually a nice size of yard. And then you've got the double garage in the back. So nice spacing. And when you see this, let me just show you this. You see how the fence goes to the line of the garage? This is a 0 lot. So this is the side you have access to. And then this is the side that the line, your garage is sitting on the property line. Your house is also sitting on the property line. So the fence just only has to go between. If we take a look at this picture here, where did that picture go? You can see how it's only from the back of the house to the front of the house, right here. Back of house to the back of the garage. You only need fencing there because your house literally is on the line. So this is a great example to show you what a 0 lot line looks like. You still have access to everything. There are no openings on this side, which means no windows, no hood fan, no fireplace. That would all be on this side. And that's also the side that you'd be walking down. So if you have AC, the machine is going to take up that walking space. So just something to keep in mind. So that's the interesting thing about these 2 areas. The price points aren't too far apart in terms of what you're buying, but then you're getting a different type of property and also different age of property. I'm just going to take a look and see if I've gotten any comments. What's the market stats for Spruce Grove detached in Harvest Ridge? Okay, I have 3 minutes left to do this. So your lucky day, I'm going to go and jump into Spruce and show you what that is. So Harvest Ridge, I will look at specifically. That area has new and old. When I say old, it's not that old. It's just not brand new. So 17 properties sold in the last 60 days from 305 to 925. 305 is going to be those duplexes here with the front attached single garages, and 925 was what it was not listed at, but it's 950. And you can see it's quite a large house. This is not, it's a bungalow that's 243 square meters. So rather large. Let's see the square footage. 2,600 square foot bungalow is massive. This is obviously an outlier. If you look at 507 is typically the normal that we see in the last 60 days. And you've got bungalows, you've got 2 stories. This one's a duplex. So attached garage at 455. And then this one is a house at 450. Yeah. Oh no, it's also a duplex. So these are duplexes with double garages. Feels like a house inside, but the walls are shared. So it looks like a house, feels like a house, just you have a common shared wall. And then this one at 507 is the bungalow. The 2-story at 507, that kind of looks more along the lines of what a quote unquote average, a lot of families will buy these types of homes. Let's just see the age of the house inside. Yeah, so it's a little bit older. You can tell by the finishings with the maple hardwood and the tile and the kitchen. So, but still at 507, that's a great deal for a front attached garage home. Edmonton's price point of average price has gone up quite a bit. And so this is now Spruce Grove. Spruce Grove, this house would have been for sure under 5, but now with the way the market has gone, that's what we're getting. So I know it wasn't a huge explanation about Harvest Ridge, but make sure when you work with a realtor, they will give you all of the stats for that specific area and specifically for your home and the square footage and finishings of your house to give you all that specifics. If you need help, we have people I can connect you with. So thanks so much for tuning in. Now, next week and the week after, I will not be here, but we will have a live video, a recorded video of the market stats for all of September that you're going to want to watch. That'll come out next week, and then we'll be back here in November. So it'll be interesting to see what the market does in the last few weeks of October. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys next time.